so let's break down what it means as the buyer of stock to be quote unquote long stock. And what this means is that we were the buyer of stock, meaning we bought it. This means, of course, we own the shares. And many traders will refer to this as being long stock. So if you hear long stock, just think of it as someone who owns shares of the stock. Now, when we own shares of stock, we're bullish, which means we want the value of the shares to rise. So let's say we owned XYZ at $50 per share. Now I'm just gonna make a mark right in the middle of the x-axis at $50, which is our break-even or cost basis for what we paid for the stock. Now, where do we make money if the stock goes up, right? Well, remember, we own 100 shares, so let's imagine the stock went up $1 in value to 51. If the stock goes up $1 because we own 100 shares, we have an unrealized profit of $100. Now, what if the stock goes up forever? Well, technically, if you own shares of stock, the theoretical profit when you own stock is the stock can really go up to infinity. Now, that's not necessarily the case in real life, but from a theoretical standpoint, if the stock price just kept going up, we would have infinite profit potential. So what we call this is if our max gain on the position for owning shares of stock is unlimited. Now, what about the downside, right? What happens if the stock goes down? And trust me, stocks do go down, and so we have to always worry about that risk. Well, if the stock goes to 49, there we go. Just like on the upside, if the stock goes down $1, well, we lose $100 if the stock goes down. Now, what's the most we can lose on shares we own? Well, it's technically what we paid for the stock times however many shares we own. So if we drew this all the way down to zero, we know that the max loss we would have on the stock position is $5,000, which once again, our max loss equals our purchase price times the number of shares we own, which is 50 times 100, and that's how we arrive at a potential max loss of $5,000.